Hi everyone, welcome back to today's class. This is day 2 of our beginners piano class. So in our previous class we talked about naming the keys, the white keys. So we name the white keys and we look at the key concept to understanding the keyboard structure and naming our white keys and how we can locate our white keys. So if you have not watched the video, please kindly go and watch the video. So this is day 2. We'll be talking about naming the black keys on the keyboard. Naming the black keys on the keyboard. So let's start. Now, we will not be dealing with the white keys today in this class. We'll be dealing with the black keys. But what we'll do is that the concept we will use to name the black keys is that we will get the concept from the white keys. So we will use the white keys as a reference key to giving names to our black keys. Now, I want us to take note of two concepts before we start. The concept of sharps and flats. Sharps and flats. We'll talk about sharps and flats, and then we will also let you know that black keys either have two names. Each black key has two names. Like for instance, this is a black key because it's black in color, right? So this is a black key. This black key can either answer two names. So we will also talk about that. So now let's talk about the concept of sharps and flats. So if we are moving from a white key, let's say any white key, this is our C. So how do we know it's our C? We thought about that in our previous video, the number 1 video we started with. So this is our number 2 video on keys. So if this is our white key, key C, so sharp means when we are going up half step forward to the next black keys, while flat means when we are going backward from a white key to the black keys, not just from the white to a white, but a white to a black. So this concept, this movement is all about from a white to a black, either forward or backward. So if I'm moving from a white to a black, let me say this is a D. This is a good representation of what I want to talk about. So this is a white now. So if I move from white to black forward, it's called sharp. But if I move from a white to a black backward, it's called flat. That's the number 1 concept I want us to get, because this is how we'll be getting the names of our black keys. So now let's start with our key C. Now let's start with this first black key, because we have a stack of 2 black keys and 3 black keys, 2 black keys and 3 black keys. All the black keys you see here are the same thing. It's just an octave. We talked about an octaves on our previous video. Okay, so if we can name these 2 black keys and these 3 black keys, that means that they are the same thing with what we have in all of this keyboard. So now let's start with the first. Let's start with the first black keys. Okay, now for us to name this key, we can get the name of this key either using this white note or using this other white note. Why did I say using these both notes? So because this one can either take you to this black key, or this one can either take you to this black key. But we can't say this one can take us to this black key, because you have to be jumping different notes. So the white notes that are closer, half step means that you don't jump any notes to touch another note, so they are joined together. So that's what we mean by half step. Whole step is when you skip a note and you touch another note. That is whole step. So I want to explain it this way so that we have a basic understanding, and those that are struggling to understand fast can understand. So you bear with me the way I explain. So from our C here, key C, so if we move half step to here, it's called C sharp, because I told you sharp is when you move from a white key to a black key forward. It's called sharp. So we now ask ourselves, from which key did we move to this black key forward? C. So we call it C sharp. Now if this is D, because this is C, D, so if this is D, we move from D, we still want to know the name of this key going backward. So if from D we move from D to here, so it's called flat because you are going back, not forward. So flat. So we now ask ourselves, from which key do we move to this black key? So we move from D. So this is what we call a D flat. So now can you now see that a C sharp is the same thing as a D flat? That's what I meant when I said that a black keys can either have two names depending on how you are seeing it or where you are playing it from. So if you are playing it from C going upward to here, it's called C sharp. But if you are playing from D backward, it's called D flat. But what happens is that you won't be touching the both together. This is just like a reference key to knowing the name of this one. So you don't, after using this to know the name, you no longer touch this or this, you touch this. So this is what we call C sharp. C sharp. So now let's come to the second one. We can use these two white notes, two white keys, to get the name of this one. So if this is D and we move half step forward, it's called D sharp. D sharp. But if we are coming from E, because it's C, D, E, so if you are coming from E backward, it is called what? Flat. So it is what? E flat. So D sharp is the same thing as E flat. So this has two names too. So this is either D sharp or E flat. And don't forget that whenever you want to play this key, you don't need to be using this one before you move. This is just like a reference key. So this is, again, this is our C sharp or D flat. This is our D sharp or E flat. Now if you notice, there is no black key in between here, so we move to the next one. This is what? How do we form this key? Okay, let's take this one as a classwork before we continue with the remaining two. So let's take this one. Let me hold on. So you form it for me and then we'll continue. All right, so let's form it together. I believe you've gotten the answer. So if for us to know the name of this black key, so we ask ourselves, we'll be making use of these two reference keys. So which key is this? Don't forget on our previous class that the white key before the three black keys is called your key F. How is it your key F? If this C, D, E, F, you can see it's still F. So we use this F and we use this G because this is C, D, E, F, G. So we use this key F and key G to know this key. Okay, so now if we are moving from F forward, is called sharp. So this is F sharp. So this black key is called F sharp. But if we are moving from G backward, is called flat. So this is G flat. So F sharp is the same thing as G flat. It's just harmonic, just harmonic naming. So you just know, depending on where you are playing it from, whether you're going forward, you are finding the name moving forward, or you are looking for the name going backward. So the power and the concept of sharp and flat will make you know which name you want to call it. So this is F sharp or G flat. But when you want to play the key, you don't need to use this key before you play. You just go straight to it and say this is F sharp or G flat. So let's name this one briefly. So we have two white keys in between the black here. So this is G. So this can be G sharp, or this is A. This is A flat. So G sharp is the same thing as A flat. And then we have the last one here, and we have B, we have A, and we have B. Because it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we have A, key A, and key B. So let's use this to form. If we're moving from A forward, it's called sharp. So this is A sharp, or this is B, called B flat. I know you have gotten the concept already. So now let's come back and let's name our keys without touching the white keys. So this is what? C sharp or D flat. This is D sharp or E flat. There's no black keys here, so we move to here. This is F sharp or G flat. This is G sharp or A flat. This is A sharp or B flat. So now let's name all, both the white keys and the black keys at the same time. This is C. This is C sharp. This is D. This is D sharp. This is E. This is F. This is F sharp. This is G. This is G sharp. This is A. This is A sharp. This is B. And then we start again. This is C, like that, like that, like that. Now, if you notice that we named it moving upward, so let's now name it going backward. So this is where we will end the class for today. I hope it's fun. So let's name it going backward. So if this is our C, then this is our what? Our B. This is after B. So this is what? This is our B flat. This is our A. this is our A flat, this is our G, this is our G flat, this is our F, this is our E, this is our E flat, this is our D, this is our D flat, and this is our C. So I wanted to take your time, get a book, have a book for this class, so that from our first class you will jot down what we are talking about and the concept that we are breaking down. And in this second video too, you should be able to know your keys and know how to name them, the concept of sharps and flats, whole step and half step, and also how the black keys get their name from the white keys. And a black key has two names. Either if you are moving forward, you use sharps to name it. If you are moving backward, you use flat to name, to give its name. So I want you to understand this concept, and I want you to, by now in this second video, I want you to know all your keys on your keyboard. So stay blessed till we meet in class again. So in our next class, we'll be touching something intriguing, very interesting. I wouldn't want you to miss this one, because this one is going to help and foster your knowledge for you to start playing keyboard. So kindly subscribe to my channel, share, and don't forget to hit the notification button.